my idea about diversity is in part the idea of just people who look different or people who come from different backgrounds, but it's really about what those differences mean. Because at the heart of the conversation about diversity is the understanding that we are living in a society characterized in many ways, one of which is racism. What do you mean by diversity?
In terms of like coursework and understanding, like maybe if faculty have like an orientation on the backgrounds of like issues people with like mental and eating disorders and like trans problems have, that like they'll be able to understand people who are like late with work.
Because I think that's one way to address the issue of making sure that our faculty have a clearer understanding that it's not just about the actual academic experience in the classroom, but it's the student experience affects that student's ability to be successful or not. I think those things really are probably too separate right now. So at least that's one step towards seeing if we can improve.
There's educational issues. Black males aren't meeting the academic standards. But then what they found is that there are social issues and then there's also psychological issues. And for them to be able to meet at these educational issues, you have to take care of the psychological issues and the social issues first. And a lot of these come from the way people are just education nowadays. Like a lot of people aren't, only 25% of people 2012 hit all 4 areas on the ACT. So people are already starting off at college campus behind academically. And then now you're adding social issues from maybe somebody who's coming from a small town, or maybe somebody who's dealing with an identity crisis, or maybe somebody who's coming from a different country and they're not used to our society. So with that being said, I think it's a growing trend that schools are going to have to start to take that into consideration of meeting the student needs as well outside of the classroom.
All of us, in one way or another, bring the experience of the other. Some of us more than others, however. Those of us who are not, again, this is just a fact of coincidence of birth, but those of us who are not part of the majority population do experience the world in a different way. That's just a fact. So for me, these sessions will continue to be about being grounded directly in your experience so I can start to make decisions, which by the way take time, and I know that's sometimes very frustrating for you. The issue of whether everyone in the administration is held accountable, of course it's variable, right? You know, we're trying to figure that out. You start with a commitment and then you have to figure it out person by person, area by area. The question of whether or not we have enough resources deployed to supporting our student experience starts with understanding what the challenges are, and then we have to figure it out.